Welcome to the underground. I owe you an apology for hacking your info link.
Don't sweat it. I'm assuming you had a good reason.
Samizdat's usual channels are all bugged. I couldn't risk an audio communication being traced back here.
You're little K, right? You don't sound local.
I wrote some things that made me have to delocalize a long time ago. Been living story to story on a Schengen visa and a language implant ever since. Never expect a short story from a long-form journalist. You want to know why I brought you here? The police raided Samizdat last night. Cleared us out. We were broadcasting until they pulled the plug. Radios, flyers, mail bursts, the makeshift media van. Getting the message out to our subscribers if they needed a refuge.
What happened to Kay?
Kay is me now, according to the Samizdat manifesto. It's all very third-wave socialist with a dash of martyr complex.
Good to know. But I mean, what physically happened to him?
Right. His name is Yarek Drobny. He's being held by the police along with Bones. No contact, no bail, no rights, plausible deniability.
He must have known the risks.
Well, he was open to the existence of risks. When you showed up, it should have been a wake-up call, but you were reasonable.
I'm pretty sure you didn't call me to put up posters. What's the deal?
We've made a plan. We're getting people out of the city, starting first thing tomorrow. I want Yarek and Bones to go with them, but first, we need to bust them out of jail. Tonight.
Fine, I'll get them out. They're being held in the temporary police station downtown?
Yes, by the Monument Metro. Once you're clear, take them across the plaza to the Ineda cleaners. We've cached everything they need for a long road trip along the old NATO decommissioning zone.
That's your escape route? Puts getting them past the state police into perspective.
It works on paper. And gives them these new identity documents. A lot of new identities.
See that as well?
What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty.
Daria tried to kill me, Doctor. She was out there playing the role of copycat serial killer, and I know it has something to do with you. So you need to start talking fast.
Well, of course she tried to kill you. Look at you, my God. It's like dressing up as a steak and walking into a dog kennel.
What? What are you talking about? How exactly are you involved?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Taeyong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project, the cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people. We found a way to isolate specific character traits. The idea was to use neural implants with imprints of desirable traits from select individuals and insert them into others who were, how should I say, less gifted. Take a man like yourself, for example. Could have given you a sense of humor.
I'm funny enough as it is. Now how about you tell me what went wrong? Something obviously did.
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Taeyong forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect.
I don't think you get how serious this is. Daria attacked me in a sewer. She lured me in there to hack my Augs off. I need you to explain to me why that happened.
I just want to state, for the record, I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, illegal. Everything I did went through Taeyong at the time. Everything was legitimate.
I'll make sure to note that for the record. Now keep talking.
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Taeyong had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Taeyong Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given, was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had.
You never even considered that implanting a serial killer into an innocent woman might be, wrong.
I didn't implant a serial killer. I got access to a sample, and I used a minuscule and specific segment of its enhanced neural code. Enough to boost certain personality traits in Daria. It's only afterward that I got interested in the donor. Regardless, it should have never gotten to this point.
Don't read much science fiction, do you?
You think it was easy getting a hold of neural code for our kind of test therapies? That wasn't a donor card most people were willing to sign.
You don't really believe Daria should have been held accountable for what she did?
Of course I do. This wasn't mind control. She didn't confuse someone else's memories for her own. It's like they were reruns of a horror show inside her head, and she chose to emulate what she saw. My God. Next you'll be telling me those Augs during the incident shouldn't be held accountable either.
No, I don't think they should.
Oh, come on. How desperately people try to blame their actions on anyone but themselves. The incident didn't force anyone to do anything. It overstimulated a few nerves.
I don't think we remember it the same.
Some murdered, others fled. The meek all cowered in the corners. You account for all these different responses by invoking individual inclination, which demands individual responsibility. People didn't become something they weren't. They became the most distilled versions of themselves.
This implant you put into Daria.
A standard confidence package, beta variety. We've been known to have bugs with it before, subjects who experience mild memories or echoes of the donor, etc. But nothing like this.
You're saying there are others out there? People with the same chip inside them?
We're talking about a global enterprise. Of course, there were multiple samples, candidates, tests. Mastery of any subject can only be attained through rigorous observation of repeatable phenomena.
I learn what I need to. Think I understand what happened to her now.
Please, be discreet. Now that it's over, there's no need for anyone else to suffer.
You mean you and Tai Young Medical? In the end, people get what they deserve, Doctor. I have a feeling you won't be any different.
It's on the streets. It's over the airways. It's spreading online. Maybe it's even gotten through the faceless skull buckets of yours, huh? Maybe you're thinking you're fighting for the wrong team. Well, that's a good start, man. First you have to be free. You. I knew it, man. I knew you were one of them all along.
Do I look like I'm one of them?
I can feel my hands right now, but if I could run a search for shadowy extra-government agent on the net, pretty sure it's all you.
Fair point. What happened? You pulled a Freedom of Information speech on the state police?
Ha fucking ha. They didn't wait for a speech, man. Lesson learned. Smash the state before the state smashes your nose.
Little K asked me to get you out.
She's the K now, man. I'm a liability to Samizdat.
She cares about you, Yarek. She didn't want to leave you or Bones behind.
Always was a cool cat, man. One of the good ones. She wrote The Wheels Come Off 16 years ago, and the conspiracies just keep checking out. Everything except the gray aliens, but who's to say that's not a metaphor?
If she wrote the book...
I don't believe in authorial intent.
I warned you about picking a fight with Picus. They've got a lot invested in protecting the message.
Would I be talking to you now if Picus had got to us? I mean, does Eliza Kazan have a sense of humor? All those bombs going off lately. What's one more in the sewers? BTW? Those are all rhetorical questions.
You don't say.
But they're trying, man. Bones heard the cops talking about extraordinary rendition. What a wonderful, connected world we live in, when they can pin an acronym on you, ARC, NSF, who gives a rat's ass, and ship you off to a black site on the UN's credits.
Just how many states are you an enemy of?
All the corporate ones.
There's a way out of Prague for you both. The Samizdat resistance has organized everything. We just need to keep our heads down and get to the cleaners nearby.
The cleaners? Irony. Wait, you mean going through the cops?
There's a police locker in the corner that should be stocked with uniforms. Find something that fits and try to look convincing. We need the cops to think you're one of them. Good. It's time to go.
Yes! Exit plans, man, exit plans! We worked this contingency plan out when we started Samizdat. Didn't think it would actually come to this, though.
No one thought it would be like this. You're gonna need these documents where you're going, wherever that is.
I hear Paris is the best place to have a revolutionary agenda these days. If you want to come along, you can be the muscle. Well, whatever your arms are made of, the stuff they use on space shuttles.
No can do. I've got a previous engagement I really can't miss.
Right, with the cardboard box company.
Watch yourself out there, Kay.
Kay? Kay is Kazdi, man. Kay is everyone. You're part of it now.
need to talk. In private.
Nothing's more private than my infolink.
I'm not so sure. I've sent a secure vid call number to your smart home system. Get to your apartment and call me.
Delara, what are you doing here?
Is that going to become our standard conversation starter?
I'm serious, Delara. It's dangerous outside. Non-essential staff should be home. How did you even get...
Ouch. Non-essential.
I just meant...
Work with me, Adam. I was trying for a little levity. Truth is, watching Picus News, hearing that the mobs were getting closer to the city, I was reminded of... Let's just say I thought being 3 stories below ground was better than staying in my apartment. So I called in a favor and got state police to escort me in. Listen, I can tell something big is happening, so I don't want to keep you.
You doing okay, Delara?
Look, Adam, I didn't tell you why I left Lim International. That I was in session with a patient when the incident hit, and that I was...
You were attacked.
Her name was Madeline. She was 13. A really sweet kid. One minute we were talking, laughing actually, about something silly I'd said, and the next she was...
It was a terrible day for everyone.
After I fought her off, she just stared at me like she was totally aware, you know, but not in control. God, Adam, I could see in her eyes that some part of her was still in there, locked away. And she was terrified.
Delara, I'm sure the girl...
Madeline. Her name was Madeline. You know the part that I'll never forget, though? The thing that keeps just replaying in my mind over and over? Right before she jumped out of my office window, I could swear she was crying.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound insensitive. But you made it through that, Delara. And I think you're stronger for it.
Thanks, Adam. Guess you just think you're over something, you know? And then...
I understand. But regardless of the reason, you took a risk coming back here. These are dangerous times for everyone.
You don't need to worry about me, Adam. I'll be fine. I'll just hunker down in my office until the storm passes. Besides, I hear I have a very comfortable couch.
Just take care of yourself.
I always do.